Hello everyone, welcome to another fragrance review. Today I'm going to be talking about my top 5 favourite animalic fragrances. So these are all centered around animalic scents, so notes derived from animals. So you're going to get musk, which is derived from a deer. You're going to get castoreum, which is derived from a beaver, from North America especially. And I'm going to be talking about civet, which is an animalic note derived from a specific civet cat. So starting off at number 5, before I proceed, I'm going to list the names of these fragrances that I'm going to be talking about in my description below, with a link to my full length review, so it goes in a little bit more in depth of how the fragrance develops, its scent profile, etc. in my full length reviews. In the video today I'm just going to give a quick overview and a quick summary. So starting off at number 5 is a fragrance from the house of Christian Dior, and this one is called Leather Oud. So Leather Oud centers around mainly the note of civet, which is derived from the civet cat, and the note of musk. In this, I find the musk is coming from the note of the French labdanum. So how does Leather Oud smells like? For me, Leather Oud opens up really damp, dark, slightly dirty, incredibly animalic, with a backdrop of very subtle smokiness. Now the smokiness is coming from the note of the birch, and the animalic, intense animalic nuances you get in the opening is from the civet and a gentle musk from the French labdanum. Many people find the opening of Leather Oud to be quite off-putting, because of the damp, slightly dirty nuances and the intense animalic nature. I myself find it incredibly challenging as well. However, as the fragrance develops on your skin and it dries down, it's introduced to more pleasant notes which help to ease the dirtier animalic, the damp darkness from the opening. The two notes are amber and most notably the beeswax, and these add a sweeter, smoother, slightly resinous feel to the composition, and it eased the animalic nature from the opening. The civet and the musk now in the dry down come across like a leather. Now with the addition of the amber and the beeswax in the dry down, it's also introduced with some spices from the cloves. The cloves are an integral part of this scent in my opinion as well. So it opens up really dark, really animalic, but then dries down and becomes a much more pleasing fragrance. Though the animalic nature is still there, it's just a lot more eased and a lot more wearable. Overall, for me, Leather Oud comes across like a high class, quite a luxurious scent, so it's perfect for formal situations. Due to its heavier scent profile, it's best suited to cooler weather, so fall and winter as an evening time scent. But overall, it's a very animalic scent, but it becomes easier to wear on your skin and definitely one to check out. So at number 5 is Leather Oud from the house of Christian Dior. At number 4 is a fragrance from the house of Serge, so a masterpiece from the creator Christopher Sheldrake. So Musk Koublai from Serge Lutens is at number 4, created by one of my favourite perfumers, like I've said, Christopher Sheldrake. So this is based around the notes of musk as well as civet. Musk, like I've said, it's an animalic note derived from a deer. And the deer, where a lot of the musk used to come from, was like from the region of Kashmir. But however, I've been told that the species is now endangered, and so a lot of these perfumes that I'm talking about, actually all of the fragrances I'm talking about today, now use like a synthetic component to make it smell like that animalic note. So we are still quite lucky to be able to smell animalic notes, but we don't have to worry about them endangering any animals because these are all synthetic type of notes. So Musk Koublai, what does that one smell like? For me, it opens with a sharp animalic note, but it's really gets subdued by this very heavy, sweet, resinous amber according to the opening. The amber is super sweet. I find the opening to be actually really beautiful on my skin. As the fragrance develops on my skin, it still keeps the ambery sweetness, but then it's joined by a very strong civet note. However, the civet is eased a little bit. It's not major in your face, and it just helps add a little bit more character to this fragrance, and stops it becoming overly sweet. Like I've said, the amber in the opening is really sweet on my skin, and with the amber, the Civet, you also get a very nice powdery clean musk. Musk Koublai before I sampled it, I read a lot of online reviews on Fragrantica, base notes, as well as some reviews on YouTube, and many people said that it's a very off-putting, challenging fragrance, but in my opinion I find it to be quite the contrary. I actually find it to be really pleasant to wear. Of course it has a slight animalic quality to it, but it comes across like a really well made Middle Eastern fragrance. It doesn't smell like a Western fragrance at all. And the amber in this scent, it really calms the animalic nature of the fragrance. The musk in this is quite a powdery clean musk, and the civet in this adds an animalic touch, and it helps the fragrance stop it becoming overly sweet, in my opinion. Adds a bit of masculine touch. But I find it to be a very sexy, alluring fragrance, which would be perfect as a date scent and as a formal scent. It's a scent which I would wear during the fall and the winter as an evening time scent. In terms of performance, Musc Koublai was excellent on my skin. It lasted 10 to 12 hours and just kept lingering on and on. Projection was strong for the first 6 hours. After that it becomes a skin scent, but I wasn't complaining. I thought the performance on Musc Koublai was brilliant. So at number 4 is Serge Lutens Musc Koublai. And number 3 is a fragrance from the house of Givenchy, and that is Givenchy Gentleman. So Givenchy's Gentleman is a classic, really, an old school powerhouse fragrance, and this one also is around the note of Civet. So Givenchy's Gentleman, it's based around the note of Civet, but mostly what I get from this is a blast of patchouli, some warm honey accord, which helps add a lot of sweetness. You also get some woody overtones and some leather backbone as well. The scent doesn't become overly animalic on your skin because of the note of the honey, which helps to ease and sweet the overall composition. I find this to be a really masculine fragrance, really gentlemanly, like the name suggests. It's a very gentlemanly scent, but in a very masculine way. But it's not super rugged, and it's not super elegant as well, because there's elegant nature to this scent as well as a masculine nature. Imagine a strong guy, he's got hair on his chest but he's wearing a suit. That's what Givenchy's Gentleman kind of shows to me. In terms of performance, I found Givenchy's Gentleman to be quite strange on my skin. I've heard a lot of reviews about it having excellent performance, but I think it's been reformulated. On my skin I got around 6 to 8 hours of longevity with quite moderate projection. It didn't really scream off my skin, but it's a great animalic fragrance to check out. And number 2 is a fragrance from the house of YSL, and that is Kouros, the original Kouros. Kouros gets quite a reputation of being an animalic fragrance, and it really is. The scent is super bold, it's very masculine, very rugged. It's based around the note of Civet, and this fragrance for me is like leathery, it's quite furry, it's very animalic, but then it has a touch of soapiness to it as well, and a little bit of powderiness. The powderiness in this scent comes across really clean on my skin, and it's a combination of cleanness as well as these really bold scents as well, bold notes as well. It's like I've said, a powerhouse of a scent, which you have to be a little bit careful with in terms of application. For me, performance on Kouros was amazing. It was beast mode. I got about 12 hours of longevity with projection being very, very strong. I actually wore this to work one day. I walked into the office, and as soon as I sat down on my desk, people were asking me what I was wearing, and I told them that it was Kouros, and then we had quite a lengthy chat about animalic notes in fragrances, and they were quite surprised about like notes of Civet, Castoreum and Musk, and like how these notes are derived from certain animals and that are actually being used. So it was quite interesting, and actually the compliments and the notices that I was getting were quite positive. So even though it smells quite strong, quite bold, it's quite a pleasing fragrance as well. And again, I find it to be quite an alluring and sexy quality. It has a sexy quality to it as well. So that was at number 2, YSL's Kouros. And number 1 is a fragrance from the house of Chanel, and that is Antaeus So Antaeus is based around the note of Castoreum. Now Castoreum is a note derived from a beaver, most notably a beaver from North America. So Antaeus was created due to this Greek myth of a character which is both strong and he's quite elegant at the same time, and this fragrance typifies that excellently. So Antaeus from Chanel has this really strong leather and the animalic note of Castoreum, but then it's balanced out by these really light, elegant notes of rose and the beautiful Chanel jasmine, and it's a perfect yin-yang. It's that strength, the strong notes from the leather and the Castoreum, animalic Castoreum, and the elegant, sweeter notes of the rose and the jasmine, and it typifies what the Antaeus myth from Greek mythology is all about. It's one of the most elegant fragrances in my collection. I think it's perfect for any modern man. It was released in the 80s, but I feel like it's a scent which works even now. If it was released now, it wouldn't be considered an old school fragrance at all. Performance on me for Chanel's Antaeus was a little bit strange. From what I read online, everyone's saying that it's quite beastly, has excellent performance. So, but on me it was quite different. So I think it has been reformulated. I got around 8 hours of longevity, with projection being quite moderate. But I wasn't complaining. I absolutely love Antaeus by Chanel. I think it's one of the best animalic fragrances out there. It doesn't smell funky or anything at all. It actually comes across really elegant and has like a sexy quality to it as well. For some reason, animalic fragrances give off a very strange, mysterious, sexy quality. So yeah, those are my top 5 animalic fragrances. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, then please do leave me a like and a comment below. And until next time guys, see you later.